Welcome to the Platinum Channel Swing Train Review, where we cover and review the watch list, the horizons list, and the below the 200-day moving average list. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. As you can tell, I had a ball. Got bronchitis this week, took a dive because I coughed myself into a blackout, and ended up at our local ER. So I hope your market trading this week wasn't as, well, brutal as my Monday morning dive into gravity. So let's get into the swing trading review of the three different stocks that I wanted to focus on, and one of them I did participate in and made some money. I do apologize for the lack of voice that I have on this video, but that's just the way it is. So let's get into our first trade. Now, this week on the watch list, we had nothing new on the watch list because none of the indicators didn't all match up. And to be on the Platinum Swing Trading watch list, we have to have all the indicators have to be in a line. And when they're not, they don't get on the watch list. But on the horizons list, these are stocks that are on the horizon that we believe could be on the watch list in the future, but are meeting certain expectations when it comes to the indicators that we use. So let's look at two stocks on the watch list today, and then we're going to also look at one on the below 200-day moving average list. All right, so Northern Oil and Gas closed on Friday at 37.28. It went on our list on Monday at 37.22, which is right here. This is the green line that I'm representing, and it was quickly off the list. Basically, hit resistance at 37.44, and so we're quickly out of it. 16-cent gain, not too bad. So if you got 100 shares, you made 16 bucks. Now, it closed on Friday down towards its 20-period moving average, which made the trade on Monday, even though it was quick, it made some money in this trade. Why isn't this on the watch list is the question you're probably asking. It's above the 200, but it's below the 50-period moving average. It's at the time below the 20-period moving average, but it was also above the 9. So it didn't make the averages that we use. It didn't make that criteria, but it looks good to set up off this 20-period moving average and could move higher and exceed the 50, which then would hit a lot of the different indicators that we use to make for stocks to make the watch list. So the other element of this is RSI at the time was about 48. We like it to be above 50. It shows strength above 50. The MACD was in line. The slow stochastic was in line, even though now it's narrowed here, and that's something to take in account. So we could see Northern Oil and Gas hit the watch list in the coming weeks if it breaks above this 20 or 50 period moving average. If this could be a continuous trade for you if we see continued momentum higher, because there's a pretty nice size gap between the 20 and the 50 right now. So that could be a trade for the future, something to watch, but we'll see if Mark puts it back on the watch list this week. So the next Horizons list stock was Tetra Technologies Incorporated, which is TTI. And this was a entry it went on the list on Monday at $4.74, which was right about here. Even though it dipped lower, it went on the list. So we just put it on the list as a Friday night, or Sunday night. So it went on the list right around $4.74. It made a move to 47.86. All this happened on Monday. So if you used the 20-period moving average as your resistance, which is in the case what Mark used, it hit that within the day on Monday, the 12-cent gain. Now, this is still below the 50. It is still below the 20. It is above the 200. and it is above the 9. So because of this, it's on the horizons list, not the watch list, which it would have been above all these indicators, and along with MACD being positive, along with RSI being above 50, and the slow stochastic being positive as well. But most of these did not meet criteria, were not met. In the end, it created a 12-cent gain. So if you had 100 shares of this, you made $12. Not too bad. And that's the thing about swing trading is it is about hitting base hits. You put a handful, but you put base hits together all year long, you're going to accumulate a pretty nice size gain at the end of the year. This is managing risk. We did not want to take a lot of risk here. We were in and out. We could have rode this and we could have played the hope trade. But in the end, we would have ended up back where we were on Friday, which you can see from Monday to Friday. So because Thursday was a holiday, Thanksgiving, hope you had a great time. But this is one of those that you just quickly got in and out. You bought yourself depending on the number of shares you bought, you could have bought Thanksgiving dinner. All right, so this is from the below 200-day moving average list. This is Custome Truck One Source Incorporated. Now, this stock is below the 200-day moving average, which is this black line. It is also on Monday of this past week Monday of this past week was below the 20 or 50 period moving average. It is above the 20 moving average and above the 9. So the big thing why this is on the below the 200-day moving average list is because it's below the 200-day moving average. So this is a higher risk stock. If you use the 200-day moving average as a long-term indicator, Paul Tudor Jones did during the great financial crisis, S&P dropped below the 200-day moving average. He basically liquidated his book of business, which is multi-billion dollars of assets under management. And he uses this as a big indicator. So from a short-term or long-term standpoint, this could be a way to manage your overall risk when it comes to managing your overall portfolio. But in this case, we're using it as a swing trade indicator. So this is going to take more risk. And there's more risk in this because it's on a downward trend. So it's below 200. But on Monday, we saw an opportunity for a setup to go higher. So Custome Truck One Source, which is symbol CTOS, went on the list at $5.71. Now, I participated in this stock and I waited to the morning to see if it would drop even further. And I got in at $5.60. Now, stock went down on Tuesday. We rode it out and ended up closing out the trade on Friday at $5.87. Now for mine, I got in at $5.60. I sold out at $5.85 because I used the 50 period moving average as my resistance level. And I said, if it gets to 585, I'm out, go through the weekend with no risk on the table, some geopolitical blow up or something like that, right? But you can see I stuck with it. I used my 20 period moving average as my support. And it never broke it. And then on Wednesday, I made it pop up. And then, closed out on Friday. In this case, we closed out at 587. For the trade on the below 200-day moving average list, we got 16% or 16-cent gain out of it. So not a bad trade. If you had 100 shares of this thing, you made $16. Like I said, it's about hitting base hits when it comes to swing trading. Now, this was fun for me. I liked this because I waited it out in the morning because there's this whole thing about the first half an hour of the day is when the retail investor, the kiddies are in the kiddie pool. And then at the end of the day, this is when the big money, the institutional money comes in and takes away all the retail money. So I played this with some patience using 560 is where I got in, and then 585 on Friday is where I got out. So nice, I think it comes out to about 4% gain, which, I mean, I'll take that all day long and every week of the year. So That's how we are using swing trading in the Platinum channel. So I wanted to take a look at the S&P 500 because the S&P 500, if it was going to go on our list, would be very interesting right now because it's above the 200, it's above the 50, it's above the 20, and it's also above the 9. So on the moving averages list, it's above all these. But what we're seeing here is this continuous consolidation in the stock. So the stock has made a move since the first of the month, so November 2nd, and it broke through all the different moving averages and breached finally the 50, or excuse me, yeah, the 50 on the 6th, Monday, the 6th of November. And it is basically consolidated and then made a move higher on Friday, November 23rd, and has moved higher since. But those higher highs and higher lows are getting, they're shrinking. So you can see in the candlesticks here, they are getting smaller and smaller. They're not these big, wide open moves. And this gap here is another thing to take into account. So most gaps get filled at some point in time. And we expect that to be the same because the energy and the volume, as you can see here, has been declining. So Fridays, of course, this week is a low volume week. And so the volume, and it was a short day on Friday. Let's look at some of the different oscillators, MACD and the RSI. So the slow stochastic, as you can see, here is above 90. And so that's a positive thing, but it's starting to consolidate in a sense. If we see a break below 90, that's an indicator that this trade or the S&P is losing steam to go higher. The MACD is also narrowing a bit. Looking at the histogram, it is declining. So the power or energy that brought it from that Tuesday or the Thursday, the 9th of November to where it is as of Friday, November 23rd, is starting to decline. The RSI, we're starting to see it sort of narrow and weaken as well. Now, we could see a move higher. We could see all these indicators still as being positive. But when I look at this is where I go, what's going to drive this higher in the coming weeks into the end of the year? So when it comes to the S&P 500, I would take precautions and I would set my stops to preserve any capital or any gains that you've made. In closing, this was a short week and a low volume week, and historically is a low volume week because it's Thanksgiving and we have so much to be thankful for in this country. We're thankful for freedom. We should be thankful for the opportunity to go out and learn things like swing trading from the Platinum channel at Best of US Investors. We have the opportunity to shape our future and do those kind of things. Whereas in a lot of other countries, they don't. They don't have that opportunity. So let's be thankful this weekend, this week. And as we go into the end of the year, let's have our process. Let's use the Platinum trading, swing trading process, and let's go make some big money between now and January 1st. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and have a great week. Peace. Live loud.